morning, everybody, and welcome to our webinar, Regenerative Medicine in the News. Today, we're going to focus on the Living Joint Replacement Initiative that's been here at Case Western Reserve. So I am Dr. Tracey Bonfield. I am the director of the Masters of Regenerative Medicine and Entrepreneurship. I'm also the curriculum developer behind the whole thing as well. And this is my colleague, Ms. Maresco, and she will be participating as well to give you information about the application process, etc.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
So the overview or the agenda of this webinar is we're going to do an introduction. We're going to give you some background on Case Western Reserve and the National Center for Regenerative Medicine, which we benevolently call NCRM. And Regenerative Medicine in Action, Living Joints Replacement. I'm going to overview some of the research that has gone on here at Case that sort of purviews this, and then give you an idea about our Masters in Regenerative Medicine and Entrepreneurship, which I call RGME, more of a brief program overview, and then we're happy to entertain any questions. So first and foremost, Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine research, we are rated number 16th in the nation and first in the state of Ohio, which is an amazing statistic given all of the different schools that are here in the state of Ohio. We are part of the National Center for Regenerative Medicine, NCRM. This is a platform to facilitate translation of research, clinical applications, commercialization, regenerative medicine, tissue engineering, and stem cell therapeutics. And it's really the brainchild of Dr. Stanton Gerson, who is now the Dean of School of Medicine. And then the co-directors of NCRM come from our affiliates. That's Dr. Van Basen from University Hospitals, Dr. Chan from the Cleveland Clinic, and Dr. Say from Metro Health Hospitals. So let me talk a little bit about innovation in joint replacements and concepts of regenerative medicine. So when we think about orthopedic needs, we have about 32.5 million people in the United States and 500 million globally who suffer from degenerative joint diseases known as osteoarthritis, or call it OA, according to the Center for Disease Control. OA is a chronic degenerative musculoskeletal disease which results in the lack of function, disfiguration, significant pain for those who suffer. Joint replacements are the final treatment strategy currently for end-stage osteoarthritis, in which there is no other alternatives for restoring patients to mobility or function without pain. Replacement of the joint only involves pieces of the joint that are involved in the mobility and the function of the affected area. In knee replacements, a piece of the patient's own bone is removed and replaced with metal pieces, which provide improved function with less pain. Since the knee is weight-bearing, as a weight-bearing joint, these replacements have a life expectancy of 15 to 20 years, depending upon the patient and implant tolerance. Patients do not always get back to all of the functionality that they want, nor is there complete, or sometimes is there complete absence of pain. Further, early replacement strategies require subsequent reconstruction and follow-up implant procedures. So if you had a implant in your 40s and you only have a life expectancy of the implant for 15 years, you're looking at a reconstructive, sometime after 15 years. So in comes this program orchestrating multifaceted engineering for growing artificial joints. And this was really the brainchild of Dr. Ozan Akis and his amazing team with Hari Bhaskaran, Gene Welter, Rodrigo Somoza, David Dean, and a variety of other people that were mega in terms of being involved with this initiative. And what it entails is actually taking stem cells and creating pieces to replace those metal components that we would put into the knee. So when we think about that, it's a matter of integrating a bunch of different multidisciplinary approaches that involve looking at things like medicine with Dr. Voos's team from university hospitals, from the engineering aspect, and integrating components with Dr. Akis's, Dr. Baskaran's, and then some culture and engineering pieces with some of the other investigators that we're talking about. So these are experts in engineering, musculoskeletal replacement, regenerative medicine, polymer medicine, bioinformatics, immunity, manufacturing principles, partnering with orthopedic leaders to develop a live knee replacement for patients who suffer from arthritis. So what you see here is a cross-section of an engineered cartilage grown in a bioreactor. The bioreactor is shown on the bottom. And so part of the regenerative medicine concept is being able to utilize some of these technologies to be able to develop something like this for medical translation. This was called the Omega program here. And as I referred to, Dr. Akis was overseer of the amazing piece that was involving several amazing scientists. So how this relates to research at CWU and NCRM. So Case Western Reserve University School of Engineering, biofabrication, biomechanics, biomedicine, etc. Biology School of Medicine, National Center for Regenerative Medicine, university hospitals, collaborating with Colorado State, Ohio State, Ray State, working together to develop this live knee from a laboratory to preclinical development, manufacturing, and potentially apply clinical translational medicine. So this is a huge multidisciplinary interfacing between a lot of different interests coming together to provide this amazing capacity. So students across the school participated in all phases of the project, providing opportunities for networking, experiencing, and being passionately involved in the medically advancing initiative. So let me think about, when we utilize these concepts for the future of regenerative medicine, this upward motion, the regenerative medicine market is expected to be 194 billion by 2032, up from 34.6 billion in 2022. A rise in chronic diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. The need and demand for regenerative medicine will continue to increase. And then there's an emerging market. Interest in development of regenerative medicine has begun across the globe. And we've begun to collaborate with a lot of these in Asia, Latin America, and the Middle East. So that's where the Masters of Regenerative Medicine comes in here at Case Western Reserve. It's a 1.5 to 2 year program if completed on a full-time basis. Part-time enrollment is also an option and is available for students. It's highly customized to your career goals throughout elective course selection. It has partnerships with world-renowned hospital partners such as the Cleveland Clinic, University Hospitals, and Metro Health, as I alluded to. It allows students to gain research or internship experience prior to graduation. Students can see RGME practices in action, like I showed you here for the Live Knee project, through site visit experiences to different biotech companies, organizations, and hospital areas. The ability to earn micro-credentialing throughout the program from the CWU School of Law, which we call the Fusion Program, that focuses on commercialization, intellectual property, and entrepreneurism, as well as Weatherhead School of Management for health and business and other applications. Applying to the program, I'll let Ms. Maresco kind of talk about these more.
Hi, everybody. So yes, so applying to the Regenerative Medicine Master's Program is quite a simple process. So you will start by going to the Case Western Reserve University website, which is just case.edu, and navigating to the application portal where you will create an account. So within that account, of course, you're going to fill out your basic information. So basic demographics, name, address, phone number, all that good stuff. But then these next materials will also be uploaded directly into that portal. So the first material will be a statement of purpose. This typically is about a 1-page document, and we say it's your chance to share more with us about why you want to pursue the master's program. What are your goals for the program and beyond? So it's your chance to shine, to tell us your story as we're reading through your application. The next document that we will request is a current copy of your resume or CV. So just your most recent document, and you can just upload that directly into the application portal as well. Next is a transcript. For the purposes of applying, unofficial transcripts are perfectly okay. You can upload screenshots, or some universities you can download a PDF of your unofficial transcript. Either works for applying. Now, if you are accepted and you do want to move forward with becoming a student here at CWRU, then you will need to request official transcripts be sent to Case Western in order to officially matriculate and register for your courses. We do require 2 letters of recommendation for your application to the program. These need to come from professional references. So what we mean by that is an academic advisor, a professor, in some cases, a supervisor. What we don't want to see is like high school teachers or like coaches, things like that. Since it is applying to a master's level program, we do request that they come from the collegiate level. And then lastly, for our international candidates, we do require either TOEFL or IELTS scores. Some exceptions do apply. Those exceptions would be if you completed your undergraduate degree within the United States or at an institution where English was the primary language of instruction, or if English is the primary language of your home country. In those cases, the TOEFL or IELTS would not be required. So what does the admissions timeline look like? New this year, we will be offering a spring start. So you would be starting the program with us January 2026. If that is of interest to you, you will need to apply no later than December 1st of 2025, with the decision being rendered before the holiday break, no later than December 15th. Of course, the earlier the better. So if you are interested in that spring start, we do recommend applying as soon as you are comfortable. That will just give you more time to decide if the program is right for you and make plans for that January start. For a fall start, starting with us in late August, typically around like the 22nd, 25th, that time frame of August, like the 3rd week. We ask that you apply no later than August 1st, and we'll receive a decision by August 15th. Similar to the spring start, we do recommend applying sooner rather than later. That way you have time to figure out housing, pick your classes, all that good stuff. It just makes for a more seamless and less stressful process. For our international applicants, we have a recommended submission date of April 15th. This is not a requirement. Why we recommend it, though, is we find that April 15th is about the latest time that we've seen students apply and be admitted and be successful in securing their visa documents and everything else needed in order to study within the United States. So you're welcome to apply after April 15th. Just know that that might pose some issues with visa paperwork and other requirements.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So ultimately, Ms. Maresco and I, if you want to contact us, here's our email, rgme@case.edu. Here's our website, case.edu, medicine at NCRM, and this is our LinkedIn site. And we're happy to answer any questions that you might have about the program, any sort of thoughts in terms of what you might think you might like to do.
And please feel free to utilize the Q&A feature that is likely at the bottom of your screen. It might be at the top. But if you click that, you'll be able to type your questions in and we will get those answered for you.
If you happen to be a student of Case Western Reserve at the undergraduate level, I want to sort of promote our CBM opportunity, combined master's and undergraduate degree option. You have to have 60 credits of your undergraduate degree already completed, but then you'd be able to start and initiate a master's program with us in the RDME. I'm happy to talk to you. My door is always open to have any questions.
So Dr. Bonfield, we do have one question in the chat, and that is, what is the earliest time we can start the program?
The earliest time, so it depends upon the year. So you could start in the spring, as Ms. Maresco actually talked about. So that would be this coming spring. You would be taking some of our primary courses that would get you going. You can also start, next fall. So depends upon your time frame of what you would like to do. Generally, we like you to come in and hit the ground running and then give you options for some experiential exposure with research, entrepreneurship, commercial, to give you kind of a flavor of the technical side of things, or, business strategy types of things, or clinicals, whatever it happens to be. We work really hard to sort of match you with what your passion is about.
Our next question is, how long is the program and are there any student assistantship positions?
So unfortunately, we can't offer any student assistantships at this particular time, but we're happy to help out in terms of looking for potential funding, giving you some options for where to look for potential support. And then the other question was,
how long the program is.
Yeah, so I had one student who did it in a year, and I've had a lot of students do it in a year and a half easily, and then some people have taken 2 years, and some of that's just based upon what else is going on in your life. I've had undergraduates do the combined degree program. I've had employees do it as part-time, and I've had students doing it full-time. We've had a great repertoire of students, very interesting, from different backgrounds, from different countries, so students really get an opportunity to interface and become very open-minded in terms of where the field of regenerative medicine is going, and how they might be able to apply themselves forward. Our students tend to be very close-knit, and we have a nice community.
The next question we have is, how many students are accepted per semester or per session? So per application cycle, Dr. Bonfield.
Per application cycle, we accept up to 15 per application cycle. So it would be 15 for the December, it'd be 15 for the spring. So it'd be 30 overall for a given year.
All right. If there are no other questions, we will let you all have some of your afternoon back. The recording of this session will be sent out tomorrow via email. So if you want to review, and if any other questions pop into your head, either upon review of the recording or just as you're sitting throughout the rest of the day, the week, whatever, we are just an email away. The email there on the screen will come to Dr. Bonfield and I, and we are happy to answer any questions as they come up. We hope you join us for future webinars. Our goal is to offer these every other month. We won't be offering one in December just because of the holidays, so our next one will be in January. So we hope you join us for that. And